Let's invite our market master for the day, Porinju MD and Portfolio Manager Equity Intelligence with us. Porinju, good morning. 2 years back we were discussing the market internals, and you said that you'll expect domestic mutual fund inflows. I don't remember the exact number. I think it was some $20 billion, $40 billion that you were talking about. And we were all surprised. But we're beginning to see, almost 30,000 crores now every month in mutual funds. Where is this domestic liquidity coming from? And do you expect it to further increase from here and taking the market higher?
Yes, Anuj. Good morning. It is true that I have been talking about the domestic flow since last 1 year. And especially when, if you remember, 4 or 5 months back, I was talking about $100 billion. Just a figure, I don't know really how much it is. Because the kind of potential for household savings coming into the market, people generally tend to underestimate that. Even though 50% of our population, they cannot invest for a long time to come. That is their financial position today. The other 50% is also a huge number. The middle class in India is a huge number, which outnumbers many large economies in the world. So there is a huge potential, especially in an environment where other investment avenues are looking dull and boring and perhaps could decline in the coming years, like the gold, real estate, or even FD. People are not very happy nowadays because they are accustomed to very high rates of interest. Actually, in fact, the current rate is not bad if you look at the global scenario, and especially when we have got a steady to strong rupee environment. See, this is going to be not for a year or two. We are going to have a strong or steady rupee environment for the next many years, or if not decades. So investors have to rethink. They have to rework their return expectations and the ambitions of making money in the market.
Okay. Yes, sir. A fair point. As long as crude behaves itself, I think we have a strong rupee on our hands. Good morning, Porinju. Always a pleasure having you with us. Actually, I want to speak about the Tata Group stocks. I think you were the first to pick up some of those stocks and point out that you would be very positive on some of them. Now, Tata Global has gone through the roof. There are other stocks also which are vying for attention, like Tata Coffee. What's your pick of this entire pack?
Yeah, Tata's, I have been in a criticizing mode, Lata, if you remember last year, even the year before last, even one day I talked, Tata Group should be privatized. I even went to that level, just to give an impression. I know technically it's nonsense, but there is some meaning in what I'm telling. It has to be managed. It was not really managed like a private dynamic enterprise. But we cannot blame anybody. It's such a very large group of business, and they took a very wrong policy of going global and growing big at the expense of efficiency, cost efficiency, or whatever you say, in the many other parameters, which was very important to survive in this world, in a changing world. So now things are changing. That the group has realized they have to focus on their strength, and so I used to always feel, now there was a TCS or a JLR in the group, which have very well created wealth for the shareholders. Now naturally, the group, the people in the Tata Group may be looking for the next TCS or JLR. So that could come only from a consumer business of Tata Group. So that was the reason I have been very, very bullish on Tata Global Beverages and Tata Coffee, and even part of Tata Chemicals. Whatever, they have such a big, huge brand name in this country. It will sustain for next centuries. So there is a huge wealth to be created around that brand, their network, and management, or whatever you can call that. I want to very clearly disclose that I am holding Tata Coffee and Tata Global Beverages, and but I don't have vested interest. I always look for it to grow organically, or market. People normally have a vested interest. I don't know what is the meaning of vested interest.
Porinju, a lot of people are asking which are the next managements you are meeting, right? I mean, you recently bought a couple of shoe companies. What's driving that rally, and why did you buy into those?
Basically, Anuj, see the variety of themes in India, the segments and the stocks. It is like nowhere in the whole world. our economist research, I have told this many times. So there are people, generally people have a tendency, investors or traders have got a tendency to go with what is talked about, what is fancied, what some fancied names, some operators buy in the market or investors buy in the market. Actually, individual investors especially, should go much beyond. We have got hundreds of stocks in the mid caps and small caps, which are in a turnaround path. So now, Liberty Show, which I picked recently, I think I bought some 4% of that company recently, because it was at multi-year lows, near the lows, and it's a great brand. They had some negatives. So people are focusing on negatives, especially when the index is at a high. Actually, even though index is at a high, I'm telling you, if somebody makes their own index today, selecting some 10 or 15 mid-cap or small-cap companies, looking at the changing world and changing India, important. Both these factors are very important. There is a disruptive world out there. So which companies and their products and services are not going to be disrupted? That's a very, very important question when investors look at any stock at any time. This is a futuristic theme. People talk about, or which companies or which products and services are going to be more relevant going forward. This is because the rate of change is like never before in the history of India or history of the world.